Thank you so much for joining us, David, for the Thought Leadership series with MyWave. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at ECS?
Absolutely. I am a previous customer of ECS, one of ECS's largest customers. I worked in an industry that was not in ERP software selling, it was in the eye care industry. And I spent about 25 years there. I was the president of the organization, and ECS was my business partner. We ended up selling that business through private equity. And after I left, Darren Vinegar, who's the president of ECS, had called me up and just, asked if I wanted to take a shot and work with them. And he was always impressed with what we did over at the company. I was the business I was in before was very high tech, a lot of software. We sold very advanced products, so I had that background and knack for it. Got involved with product development a great deal. I've kind of translated those skills into working here at ECS. What I've been doing here is doing a lot of product management, finding more opportunities for ECS to grow its software and sales and service business. And so that's kind of what landed me with MyWave. I had mentioned to Darren that we wanted to find some type of AI solution. I didn't know what we would find out there, but that's kind of where we got connected with MyWave. Was we had one of the things we wanted to make a very profound direction for the company was in the AI space. We knew that was going to be very, very big for ERP. So
Brilliant. Thank you. And I know you were saying about, bringing AI into ECS, and we're looking at other, well, tools to see how you are going to make an AI impact. Can you talk about what challenges your customers are facing that led you to consider MyWave?
absolutely. So I think businesses everywhere, especially since the pandemic, have run into, a tighter workforce, the skill sets, the demands from customers. That they're dealing with a whole host of things, and it's a challenging world out there, right? So the skills that are needed to run these businesses are kind of like there's more and more expectations, higher skill sets required, and yet you need to do the basics of the business. You need to be able to run your business, and really the core of a lot of well, not a lot of any business is the ability to do things in a very consistent and repeatable way. So you're running your business. You have processes. You want to make sure those processes, deliver the same outcomes. Yet we're in a very unstructured world with different demands from customers, a lot more technology, a lot more emails, a lot more things coming at us. And so how do you take the unstructured world, turn it into a consistent process? How do you turn it into consistent delivery, and deliver the same, high levels of service and so forth? And I just envision that AI has that potential. Like, how do we do all this? How do we, as the demands increase, as the ability to have, access to more and more resources are limited, how do we handle all this? And I think AI plays a role in doing that. So that's kind of my interest in it is, I think a business could take AI conceivably, and really expand their presence, expand their capabilities without expanding their workforce. Because I don't, everybody's running into that. It's very challenging to find people with certain skill sets, and yet the skill sets are expected to be much higher. So you have a smaller group of people needing to do higher level tasks, higher level, human thinking, where I think AI to a point can help, but there's that level that the humans take over, not AI, and let AI do kind of the baseline, get the productivity, do the tasks that have been relegated to people, in years past, whether it's taking emails and so forth. So that's where I see, the AI starting to help our customers. Is that
Yeah, absolutely. And Geraldine, I might pass the question to you. In terms of what MyWave can do to answer those challenges, can you speak a bit more about our key features?
Yeah, I think that David is right. It isn't, I think a lot of people are hyping that Gen AI is coming and taking everyone's jobs away. I think what it's doing is it's taking away the jobs that nobody wants to do or people hate doing. So in fact, there was another partner lately, the opening line to a customer is, what is it you hate most about your job? And give that to AI. And,
Yeah.
so you think about all the things that you do on a daily basis. Like there's one company, a steel company, that has to key orders in 3 times in 3 different systems to be able to do a quote to order. Why would you do that? MyWave can actually create a wave process. That means you don't have to take it. You can actually do the quote for the customer to the order in one simple, intelligent wave process across 3 different systems. So what it's doing is it's actually augmenting human work. And if we think about 100 years ago, when everyone was probably worried about what the impact of motor vehicles would be, what was the impact of the so-called labor-saving devices like washing machines, you don't find women sitting down by the river washing clothes anymore. We've got all these labor-saving devices. So essentially, the exciting thing about Gen AI is that AI has been around for a long time. And everyone has been saying, when is it going to get smarter than the dumb chatbots, which everyone used to hate? The generative AI is actually a paradigm shift where a large language model can understand what you want as well as a human can. And MyWave's process models, when we bring those together with LLMs, means that we can execute now and generate any process on any industry. So what that means is that David's customers and any customer out there can now get the power of Gen AI for their businesses. And this is why, that's exciting. And that's what gets me out of bed every day, is we actually get to work with people like David and others, and we get them trained up, and we go out and we make that happen in the world.
Absolutely. So David, can you provide any examples of how you plan to use MyWave to improve processes or experiences for you or your customer?
Sure. So how I see it is that, as we said, I don't think it's coming to take over. I don't think AI is just you plug it in and now your business runs. A very, monolithic way to approach business. What really I think AI is going to do is help use your unique aspects of your business and maybe automate those easier. So for example, I came from businesses very high tech. You could call in and there could be many different pathways to take, when you have an issue or you need help. So your instrument might need to be repaired. There may be a recall on something. So there's all these different things that we had to train people to take the customers through. And so I kind of envision that AI is going to help take those types of issues from customers and start funneling them in the right direction. Like, hey, by the way, your car needs a recall, has a recall notice, or, go to this department because it may be this type of issue, or, we have an opportunity to sell you this, but it's going to be able to take those different requests from customers, funnel them in the right area without humans having to do that all upfront work, and then get to the right person. Because in the end, it's still going to be, I still think business is still going to be people related. I don't think you're going to just not talk to anybody. I just think it may start with getting you to the right person with the right information to help you with whether it's to add product, whether it's to get service, whether it's to get a question answered. So I think it's going to be just a blend of technology with the ability to help at a more advanced level, which is really what I think us humans will do. I think we're to do the advanced, help and support for the customers, and not having to do all the base level, how do we get you to that person, So that's one of the ways I was thinking this would go.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that that's great. And I know that you are still going through the training of MyWave and your team is still getting their arms wrapped around it. But can you just comment a bit more about your experience with getting trained as a wave master on MyWave?
Sure. I mean, it's clearly, when it was clear to us, when we saw the MyWave group, we saw the technology, it was clear that that was the right way for us to go. But it was really backed up by the training. It was very clear that there was a lot of time and effort. I was really actually surprised in a good way how much thought was put into the training of individuals, not just on which buttons to push, but also just the understanding of the technology, what makes it different, which was something that I hadn't really considered, like the different types of language models, the domain models, so there was training not just on how to use the technology and how do you follow, the flows and everything, those waves. I mean, that was great, but for me, I've gained a wealth of experience just working with the MyWave team, just in what are you doing and how does this work for businesses? Why is this approach that you're using really a business model approach, not just, creating, a document, for a letter, or creating images that are funny or whatever. I mean, this is really a business approach to with AI, and I think you guys have really done a great job with the training and getting us up to speed on that. So
No, that's great to hear. But we always want to hear from our partners about your
yeah.
experience and knowing that there's deep knowledge invested in that because yes, the team has done that. Geraldine, I don't know if you want to comment a bit more about, what we hope for our partners and for customers off the back of the training, the level of complexity that once you become a wave master, what that means.
Well, I think that, the exciting thing, and you look at all of the markets that we're working in, what, Dave and his team going through the training, also finding the first customers and the first waves, which is obviously what they're involved in doing now, and what we're doing also with other partners in different markets. It's amazing to see how many people are wanting to apply these waves in different ways. So I think Dave's, made a good comment. You can either do really simple processes or you can do really complex processes. We've got some partners that are looking at, putting, waves from MyWave into Shopify and linking, Shopify all the way through to your SAP systems, for example. And so everything becomes much easier, even down to large language models reading documents. So you don't need optical character recognition anymore. You can just basically have the LLM reading the document. MyWave then knows what to do with what needs to happen next with that document. Oh, it's an accounts payable invoice. I now need to go and post that into the SAP system. Oh, this is a customer complaint. Customer's really unhappy. There's something problem. I need to initiate a service order process because I've got to go and fix a faulty printer. And so suddenly everything becomes simple and seamless and smart. And honestly, life is so complicated today, and it's just too short to deal with all of this. And so that's why, we're delighted to be working with partners like ECS and taking this innovation into businesses. And it's ready now, and it's really easy and well priced and easy to adopt.
Absolutely. And David, my last question, is there anything else you'd like to share about your experience with using MyWave?
Really just, I would say not the technology, but more so just working with the MyWave team. I'm a believer that the success comes from having good partners. You want good customers, you want good, partners when you're doing business. And was one of the things that really stood out to me. So you asked me, one of the questions was, why did we, select MyWave? I really think that it came across the partner aspect from your team. I mean, that really hit me, and I knew, and it's proven to be so, when we've run into anything, if there's any questions, any issues, you're there. So the customers that are ultimately going to be using MyWave and using this AI tool depend on us working together, right? So you can't deliver without ECS. ECS cannot deliver without MyWave. I think that is, to me, the number one thing that I look for. And obviously the technology has to be there. And I do, and from what I saw, I think we have the best partner, and we have the best technology, and we have the most knowledgeable team to work with you. And we're at ECS, we're committed, we're looking to grow, and we have a lot to learn, but we're excited about where this is going for sure.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah.